Greetings once again, heroes out there. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with My Hero Academia. Previously, as All Might readied himself to explode and take All for One with him, his life flashed before his eye, and we got to see Mom Might, as I'm calling her, All Might's mother back when he was a little child, and oof, a gorgeous mother, rest her soul. But All for One was on top of his game, destroying All Might's gauntlet, stopping the explosion, and then using Stain's blood curdle quirk to stop All Might. Dead in his tracks. Emphasis on dead. Gentle tries to go and help when UA finally manages to stabilize itself, only for All for One to see this coming, take a shot at UA, damaging its ability to stay aloft, causing it to start to plummet again, and so Gentle is once again, much like Sisyphus in the Rock, holding up an ever-descending object. We also have an attempt from Star and Stripes fighter jets, but unfortunately they are no match as well. And, trying to make a grand show of everything, All for One takes All Might, holds him aloft, and begins to pull. He's looking to break him like a wishbone on live television, and as everyone can only watch as Deku is still in pitched combat with Tomura Shigaraki, and it seems like the chips are down and there's no one left to help out. Who should appear atop UA, broken, bloody, battered, and fresh from having his heart sewn back together? None other than Dynamite. Bakugo is back! Despite my gripes about the fact that he should not be able to stand right now, the boy is upright. And looks like he's ready to do some heroing. Will this be what makes the difference? Or is All Might's days still numbered? Join me as I find out, won't you? My Hero Academia, number 404. Just says error for some reason. If you get that joke, thank you. Number 404. We love you, All Might. I swear, each chapter has me like, is this the one where he dies? Because I'm not wanting his death. It's just, it'd be a hell of a thing to happen now. If there was ever a time, it'd be now. We pick up with a flashback by All Might. Back when Night Eye told him, continue down this path, and you will encounter a villain. What awaits you then is an unspeakably gruesome death. And yeah, this being held up by All for One and ripped apart, that would be as gruesome as it comes. We get narration. The wind was blowing. The water was wet. And we see various places all over the world. A farmer tending his sheep saying, maybe I'll bake a pie today. Person coughing. A shut-in watching things on the internet. An office where a boss says, forget that far-off danger. Focus on today's deadline, people. I mean, this is very true. I mean, right now, there's a war going on. But for many other people, just another day. A person whose hands have come together. Oh yeah, that reporter from before, who's checking her computer saying the atmospheric current is odd. Someone comes behind her saying, Meryl, that little on-air stunt of yours is already all over the internet. You see her report online where she says it may ride east on the jet stream and affect the weather in North America. A person cheering at something. A young dog-like boy watching the events going down on his television. Someone calls out to him, Martin, food's on the table. And the boy says, All Might, don't die on us. And back at the battlefield, where down below there's a commotion as Deku battles Tomura Shigaraki. On the falling UA, Bakugo stands at the precipice, and he falls. Deku turns, but then he turns back to Tomura Shigaraki, who's stunned. Within mere moments, Bakugo is using his powers to race in towards Deku. Deku spots this, catches Bakugo's descent. Bakugo uses his powers to give Deku the momentum to whip Tomura Shigaraki around. The second user of All for One, or One for All, calls out to Deku, boy, there's no escaping the blowback if you activate gear shift again. It must be after you've found the assured path to victory. Suddenly, something starts to appear next to the second user. The user looks towards it, then slowly looks away. Deku and Bakugo continue to swing. Deku uses the second's gear shift. Deku and Bakugo lock eyes, and as Bakugo activates his ability, Deku throws him with intense speed. Shigaraki tells Deku, "You won't make it in time. But you know that, don't you? The All Might within you always used to show up all faint and fuzzy 'cause he was still alive, yeah? Now he's looking more solid, really taking form. You know what that means. The man showed the world a dream, and with his death, the dream is over. Back to harsh reality." But Deku doesn't seem to be listening, as we see Baku moving closer and closer towards All Might, towards All for One, and Deku watches. The narration is someone's clenched fist, someone's deep exhalation. Deku remembers Night Eye's words. "I wanted to prevent the future in which you get killed. I searched for a way to change things." And Deku thinks, it's a sort of energy. I believe that now. Energy from striving for a certain future. Energy from wishing. Someone's watching the reporter Meryl's words. Can the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil bring about a hurricane in Texas? Bakugo gets closer to All for One and All Might, and everyone watches with bated breath, with prayers, with hopes, with dreams. The narration, someone's prayers, and Bakugo remembers his words when he last fought Deku. "You got way stronger. You got All Might to recognize you. So why was it me who put an end to All Might?" And as if to redeem himself for being the cause of when All Might lost everything, Bakugo does it. All for One's hands rip off as Bakugo manages to grab All Might from All for One's clutches. The vestige of All Might that Deku and the second user could see turns back into a faint whisper. All Might speaks weakly. "Bakugo, kid." All for One turns, fury in his eyes, and Bakugo calls out, "Time to win this!" I gotta say, a part of me, there's two sides to me in this whole situation. There's a part of me who's getting frustrated because you keep teasing All Might's gonna die, and I'm like, is he gonna die in this one? Oh god, is he gonna die in this one? Because it would make so much sense if he died. And it would be emotional, it would be impactful, it would be stressful, I mean, it would be all these things. But on the other side of things, I don't want people to die. Like, I get it. It makes a story more emotional in certain situations. It would be very akin to when Jiraiya died and all that. Like, it would be really impactful. But at the same time, having everything come to this, that Bakugo, who still blamed himself for what happened to All Might, because they went to go save him, this finally being the way that he makes up for it. That this was the only way to finally get him past that hurdle. I actually really like that, because I didn't even think about that conversation. Good on you, Horikoshi, for remembering that. I probably wouldn't remember that conversation, because I'm not even thinking about that. But it's like, this is the moment. This is Bakugo's last hero moment. Using the last of whatever he's got. He's not rejoining the battle. He's not helping out in the fight. It's just move fast, get All Might away from All for One, get out of there. That's it. And I'm like, good. Because if Bakugo fought, I would have called so much bullshit. I would have been angrier. It's like, at most, a few blasts here and there just to boom, 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 distract or whatever, but a full-on knockdown, drag-out fight like he had before? No. Bakugo is running on faith, trust, and pixie dust at this moment. If he had joined in the fight and done any significant damage, I would have been like, no. Like, how are you still able to move? You just went through a major surgery and you should be glued together at this point. But I will take this. I will take this just because of everything that happened at Kamino. Because Bakugo blamed himself, and this was the best way for Bakugo to have his hero moment, to make up for what happened, to get over that hurdle that would have left him just, I mean, really thinking about it, just, like, actually, it really is that flashback that does so much heavy lifting for me. It is literally that flashback that just lifts everything up. And at the same time, with the, I get into the same mindset of so many other fans who just want this series to be dark and desperate and dreary and sad and emotionally painful and this, that, and the other, when I know that's not what Horikoshi is going for. She wants something that'll lift people up. Yeah, hey, if you felt like the whole situation with the paranormal liberation war, whatever, was great because so many bad things happened, lives were lost, terrible things happened, this, that, and the other, yes, cool. But she had to have known that it was more about rising from that darkness than anything else, right? Right? Like, I feel like so many people who complained about how this current storyline is like, oh, they're not killing off enough people, they're not doing this, that, and the other, they're not doing yada, yada, yada. I'm like, no, because this is supposed to be them getting in that great win. The hopefulness, the rising of the next generation. I mean, I want to be able to happily cheer when we reach the end of this. They did it. They won. They beat the odds. They beat back the villains. Justice prevailed. And this moment feels very indicative to that. But at the same time, I can understand people being like, All Might should have died here. Because there are people who thought All Might should have died during that one battle against All for One. So, ultimately it comes down to, can Horikoshi stick the land? I'm certain plenty of people will be upset about it, but right now, I'm still happy with the direction things have taken. But there's also the question, can Bakugo get far enough away? Because at this moment, All for One probably split. Do you go after All Might, the prize that you've wanted to kill for so long, that honestly, had you just done it, you've had so many opportunities, but you wanted to make a grand show of it, it's your own damn fault. You could have killed him 5 times over by now if you stopped playing. But classic villain mistake. Or do you go after Tomura Shigaraki, who will allow you to live on because you are aging in reverse to nothing? It's an interesting dilemma. What matters more to him? The plan or the play? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you later. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.